The Queen of Soul. Her music and legacy will, of course, live on forever. And now there's a television event airing on National Geographic. Award-winning actress and singer Cynthia Erivo plays the legendary Aretha Franklin. It's 8 episodes. Here's a look at genius Aretha.
You're going to remember her name, Aretha.
She's too young to go out there.
It's easier for a woman to be the helpmate of a king than it is for a man to be the helpmate of a queen.
Don't let that queen thing go to your head.
I'm gonna let that queen thing go wherever I wanted to.
Joining me now, 2 of the stars of Genius Aretha, Patrice Covington and Rebecca Naomi Jones. How you two?
So good. Hi.
Now, looking at the trailer, I can see there's going to be a lot of singing and a lot of dancing. And I know both of you had to do a lot of that because you play the sisters. And I can't imagine. What was that audition process like, Patrice?
Oh, goodness, Ryan. So crazy time for me. At the time, it's a totally full circle moment now, but at the time I was actually singing background for Christina Aguilera, and we were in Vegas. I had no time, crazy schedule. And one of my bandmates, he happened to have a wife who is an actress. So she had trained him up to do a self-taped audition, and we got it done. It was probably one of the times where I have never been able to critique and analyze, and a true example of what's meant for me is for me. It will never pass anybody by.
Yeah. And what about for you, Rebecca?
Well, I think one of the most exciting things about the scene was that it was a scene just between these 2 sisters. So if you didn't know anything before, as I admit I didn't, about Aretha Franklin's sisters, Carolyn and Irma, this scene gave you so much information because it was a scene that took place sort of behind the scenes of a big 50th birthday party for Aretha Franklin. And here you have in the kitchen, the 2 sisters preparing the birthday cake with candles. And you get so much of a sense of their relationship, how much they love their sister, but how much resentment and bitterness is sort of embedded into the fabric of their lives. And so it was a really fun, sort of delicious, juicy scene. And I know Patrice and I had the same exact scene, even though we were auditioning for the opposite roles. And the other thing that was super fun is that we are both singers, and we both had to audition with an a cappella version of Rocksteady, which is one of Aretha's great hits. So it was a good time.
Yeah, good time, and obviously a pinch me moment when you get to play such an iconic role, and with again, I mentioned amazing music. It's getting rave reviews already. What is the song, the go-to song that's stuck in your head now?
Ooh.
So many songs. I always sing Save Me, which is a song that I didn't really know before we shot this. And maybe it's because we rehearsed it so much and we did so many takes, but Save Me is a song I really love now.
You know what I get in my head is our weird backups to Chain of Fools. Like I get,
It's R-E-S-B-E-C-T for me all the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course, of course. Here's what I didn't know, and I read. In 1967 at a concert, that's when she was actually crowned Queen of Soul. There was actually a moment. How did that happen?
There was a whole crowning where the city made it. We have a lot of, like the mayor will make it Patrice Covington Day, which I will gladly take. But it was much like that. They crowned her the Queen of Soul, and our culture, we really took to that. But also she was very deserving of it, and I love that part about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, now, since you play her sisters, and you mentioned bitterness, is it because there was jealousy there?
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah, these women were also incredibly talented and incredibly driven and had big dreams. And, all 3 sisters grew up under sort of the tutelage of their father, rehearsing, always sort of putting routines together and dancing and singing together. And so they all, had this design on their lives to be something musically and as performers. And ultimately, Aretha was the one whose star really rose. And so, of course, even though there was long-lasting love between them all, there was certainly some jealousy.
Right. Do either of you have siblings, and how does it work now that you're movie stars and maybe they're not?
My sister, I have a sister, she's a dancer, and she's such a star in her own right. She's the head of a dance department at a school in Virginia Beach, where we're from. And she watches every single thing that I do. She's like my biggest supporter. Love that girl.
Oh, there you go.
No siblings. for me, but I'm not spoiled.
You're not spoiled, so you're appreciative. Well, so the series, because it's 8 episodes, it really gets to dive into Aretha Franklin's life. Spans 30 years. What was maybe the one thing that really stood out that you learned about Aretha, because we all know so much about her?
The way she used her art for activism was just, it was a surprise because I guess, you know, back in the day, I knew her music reflected the times, but I didn't know how much she did outside of her music. And it was encouraging to me because at a time like what we're doing right now in our culture and society, it's Black Lives Matter and all of that, you know, all the protests and the marches. And there was a time where I didn't know like how to activate my activism and encourage me to just do what I already do, which was use my art. So I loved learning more and more about what she did.
Yeah, I know there's flashbacks too to 1950s and, you know, racial inequality and all of the obstacles that she went through. And a lot of that's still prevalent today, Rebecca.
Yeah, it's all prevalent today, and I think you know, I actually said this to somebody yesterday. I think that that's going to be the thing that's so exciting about watching this, because so often when we have not been in a period where you know, a reckoning is happening in this country, where people are really eyes open to this issue that is part of our history and part of our present. And, you know, for so long, there have been images and footage of Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream, and you know, March on Washington and Selma, all of it. And we have looked at it as a piece of our history. We've looked at it, oh, the civil rights movement, and we put it in a box. Yeah. And now we're at a place where we can really see these things, see these images in our series, and see exactly how you know, how much it relates to where we are now. And so I think, as Patrice was saying, that will hopefully activate us.
Yes. Well, come see us soon, because Patrice, I know that you're a huge fan of our city as well, Chicago. That's what I heard.
My favorite city in the whole country. I just love, love, love Chicago. You have my heart.
Bring
always.
Rebecca with you. All right. Thank you so much, ladies. And
Thank you, Ryan.
You can watch Genius Aretha on National Geographic at 8 p.m. and on Hulu the next day. And you can stream all 8 of the episodes in celebration of the Queen of Soul's birthday on Thursday, March 25th. She would have been 79 years young.